Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Video Game Collectors Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Rose. That's Josh. That's
hmm
Chris. And we're going to talk video games or VHS.
Or Sega Genesis
Yeah,
specifically, I think.
probably
Oh,
Sega Genesis. That
Yeah.
seems like the right thing to do.
We can go down the Sega Genesis path. We had Trucker Joe on talking about NES, so why not some Genesis today,
That
right?
sounds good.
it's like
All right.
Trucker Joe. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Trucker
This year
Pulio.
there's going to be 30 new Genesis games.
You
Uh
know, the new games that are released, right, for vintage consoles really screw up my eBay search for brand new multi-quantity listing items, and they drive me absolutely insane when I see them when I'm trying to scoop deals. So, um, shame on that for not being able to filter that better on eBay, I guess.
that eBay's filtering has just gone way downhill over
Yeah.
the last couple of I don't know, couple of months.
Yeah,
I
6 months
like
to a
all
year.
of my stuff. I stuff is sneaking into the search that should not sneak into the search, but
hmm
what you gonna do?
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree.
And not only is that happening, but I would say for the people that were just a little beyond a casual seller, but used it as a business like I did, have for years, it's really taken a hit on those medium-sized businesses that use eBay to sell. And it's all based on this magical word algorithm, right? Like trying to
Yeah,
figure that whole bullshit out. And there's no rhyme or reason to it other than just trying to be as active as hell on eBay. And it's impossible sometimes. So
I I
it's
have
really
had a
made my
terrible time
personal
selling
business.
on eBay lately, and
Yeah, it's
it's like I expect the summer to be slow, um,
mhm.
but holy cow, it's just not moving like it used to.
Yeah, I've made a massive shift to Whatnot. In less than a month, I've sold 1,000 items on there. So
Wow,
yeah,
wow. Are you selling them at a decent price though?
some not, but it's sold and it's gone, right? And I have so much stuff that it's okay. I'm okay with it. And I'm selling a lot of I'll be honest, I've sold a lot of VHS tapes on there. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I watched today.
Yeah, that stream killed me today. I got a migraine like halfway through and just
Oh
powered
no.
through. I always try to do like 100 items and we made it. Got to 120. So, I plan to do a show in the next week or so that's really focused heavily on video games and not just like bullshit video games. So, kind of get it out there and advertise it and try to do it to
I'm seeing like a lot of my local game stores, they've got to focus a lot on Pokemon. That's where like a lot of their money is. I'm being
Yeah,
told from one local store that like half of their business now in terms of dollar volume is
Pokemon.
is Pokemon cards now.
Oh,
Um, and that wasn't obviously that wasn't the case just a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
I'm seeing a lot of people um, uh, either get rid of their collection or talk about getting rid of their collection. I didn't see that a couple of years ago. And simultaneously, you see like eBay slowing down. It's um, it's a weird time. It's a
Yeah.
weird time.
Yeah, I think in the video game world there's always ebbs and flows. I've said that for many years. And you
Yeah.
just have to sell through it and figure out where the market has transitioned to. It and stores are doing that, like you said, with Pokemon cards. That's half their business. But I think there is room for vintage out there still and stuff going. It's just a matter of educating, getting
Yeah.
people hooked on it. And yeah, people come and go and collecting. They sell their collections, and that's okay.
You think collecting is ultimately just like either money or insanity? Or do you think that there's more to it than that?
No, I think it's
insanity.
I think there's a little bit of both there. Johnny Iucci asked me one time, he's like, what do you think? Is like video games just all investing or what is it? And like, are we
Right.
collectors? What are we doing here? And
Yeah,
I,
what are we doing here is a very,
I,
very common
I
question.
believe that we all, as hoarderish as we are, we do believe, even though I'm buying 17 copies of Mario 2, that in the back of my mind, I love collecting that. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, hey, I parked my money there because I'm not foolish. I am when it comes to certain things, but I'm not foolish enough to overpay on that stuff, I guess.
Right.
And so I know that I've parked my money in that stuff that I love, and I could extract that money in some way. And I think it'd be foolish to say that that's otherwise not the case for literally everybody. Well, never mind. I'm giving the general population too much credit, maybe. So,
Yeah.
um,
They gave they Johnny and the other podcast, if you whatever, they just did a whole thing about how everything's going to zero, right? Um,
those
and
those
then
shows make me so depressed when I listen
Man,
to
that's a great show.
yeah,
it. No, it's
well, they just scientifically talk about like this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, and it's all going to go to zero. I don't know if I buy it. Maybe not in our lifetime, but um, I I think that you're going to see some people wanting to get out of collecting because, we had that growth and then that fall, and now things are kind of level,
Mhm.
level-ish.
Mhm.
And because people don't see big growth or what would cause big growth, they might want to park their money somewhere else. If
That's
if you're talking about the type of collector that isn't crazy like me, but
But you can't you do think that there is you put money into one thing back there and that game, say the game you just bought that you showed us before we started. You put money into that, right?
yeah,
You'll get your value out of it, but you could sell it and recoup some of that money. You parked your
yeah,
money.
I could. I
So,
could. I keep thinking that, if you tie up a portion of your net worth in something that could be worthless later, you have to recognize and know that as a risk.
Mhm.
You don't play with money that's I'm a big believer in personal finance. You should have your P's and Q's together. You should have an emergency fund. You shouldn't have any debt. You know, uh, the collection should pay for itself. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't use money out of the paycheck to pay for this. That at this point, the hobby pays for itself. So
mhm.
you do have to find opportunities to, um, like you were talking about, finding value opportunities. But then I go
Absolutely.
do something stupid. We were talking about Genesis. This is a nice new shooter on Genesis. Gotta like that. That's called ZPF. That's a
ZPF.
good. It's really fun.
Okay. We'll
Um,
have to check that out. Who
I
who makes ZPF and where can you buy that?
so this is from Mega Cat Studios,
Okay. So make
and
that.
um, I used to know the guy's name. I don't know the guy's name, but they have his. I don't know if you can. This is going to be ridiculous. This is not going to show up. Oh, maybe it will.
Yeah, you can see that cat.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. I was pretty happy about this. This was like a pre-order Christmas gift, and the artwork is just like this. It kind of looks like Devil's Crush or whatever for the artwork,
Hmm.
and then obviously it's a shooter, and it it pulls on so many memories of like the bullets are the same shape as the bullets in uh oh, what's the Tengen shooter? Anyway, uh, there's all
Storm.
sorts of little things in there that kind of remind you of other. One of the characters you can be is like a Lords of Thunder
Uh-huh.
knight. I don't know. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Hmm.
Hmm. That's
We
Mega
should
Cat
do like
Studios.
what we should do like a what did you get uh section because I've got
He's eager to
got a
show
pile.
what he's got.
I've got a pile.
Yeah.
Well, we need to uh gosh, we touched on such a good subject, but we could make a whole podcast out of that, collecting, parking your money there, things like that. That was a great tangent. But you wanted to also we also wanted to dive into, I mean, you could show your stuff now, but I know you have
Yes.
some other stuff that you want to kind of touch on an episode we've done before, which is should I grade this or
Should
not?
I grade it?
Should I
Yeah,
grade it?
But
Yeah.
because I've been sitting on some stuff for now, I think 4 or 5 months at least. And so um and the market has changed. And one of the things that I'm noticing too is the graded games are a lot less liquid than just having a CIB.
Hmm.
So one of the first ones that I'm wondering about, should I grade it, is probably the nicest copy that I've seen so far. I'm going to cover up my little price tag.
Oh, look at you.
yeah.
So it's it's CIB.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So do I grade it? Do I grade Turtles in Time CIB?
To to me
Is
it's
that
like
a made in Japan Turtles in Time?
I think so.
to
Is
me
it
I'd
got
do it.
the first print manual? Is that first print?
Where is the yeah,
It'll
made in
say
Japan. Made in
made in
Japan,
Japan.
first
What's the
line.
manual look like on that?
When I checked it, and this was a while ago.
Yeah, you don't have to open it now. I don't know.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
well,
can
if
tell
if
you.
this is should I grade it, we need to see the condition, Chris. So yeah, you
All
gotta.
right.
Yeah.
So I do have the ability to press, and I do a pretty good job.
Because sometimes you make mistakes, and actually what's funny about what you have is I can show a mistake that I've made so people can learn from what I did. Um, yeah, that's really nice.
So it doesn't have the. It's a -1 manual. You got a second print there.
Yep, you're right.
Yeah, so that's still nice. I would still grade it. The first print has like a Smucker's bullshit blurb on the front or something.
Here's your answer, Chris. And what
So that's an 8.5. That's a CIB.
well, it's an 8.5 because the box is a 9.6.
Wow.
The manual is a 9.4 and the cart was a 6.5 because I forgot to check the cart.
Oh no.
Wait. Okay, is that it? Is that a Seaside Video?
It is. And so
Yeah.
the cart was trashed, but they had this box of manuals sitting,
Yeah. Oh,
untouched.
yeah.
But I don't
Those
want
boxes are so nice,
but I
man.
don't want to regrade it because it was the second game ever graded at WATA. Well, technically the third game ever graded at WATA. So I don't ever want to
Wow.
crack it out.
Wow.
I know what's going on with that card. Is it the shell all faded on the back or some shit?
Yeah, it's just trash. It's
Yeah.
it was Universal Video sticker, the whole 9 yards. I just totally spaced off putting a good card in there and sending it, and
That's
I'm gonna
awesome.
make a
it makes a
pile
funny
of yes
story.
and no.
But
So
it's
I
worth
put
grading
turtles
because I
in the
wanted to
yes. So
protect
even
it.
though, so you think even though the manual is second print, that it's nice enough, I should probably.
Yeah, it's a made in Japan copy. It doesn't matter. I think
All right.
that some people get too hung up on that shit, but I think it's interesting to know, right? Because I love that game. Um, yeah, that's one of my all-time favorite games right there.
And it's
I
like
can't tell you how many times I beat Turtles in Time as a kid. Man, I played that like it was going out of style.
to
Do
me,
you
it's
grade any of the not for resale things?
yeah,
Yeah, if it's
depends.
not a reseal.
Like if you're not, it depends.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like how much are you
Yeah.
into it? Are you looking to sell it or are you looking to keep it?
On
I
GameCube, I would
I
say
think I think
oh,
I think I'm gonna keep it, but uh I I am interested now in, like, if I ever had to sell it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I would grade it because GameCube authenticity is like, it
That's
can be whatever. But I would if the thing's gonna grade at least an A+ seal, in my opinion, on
yeah.
something like that. Unless you're talking like made in Japan Wind Waker or made in Japan, the harder to find made in Japan
Right.
games. So Smash Brothers, right? Um, Mario Sunshine. Get those ones A seals, but I would make sure there's no rips in the plastic. Make sure there's like no major
Yeah, it's
defects to
very
the
nice.
insert. Those would be my things on GameCube. If I'm not hitting a 948 plus or above
Yeah,
on something like that, I might just sell it raw, honestly.
I agree.
Right. Right.
And I,
Because that's the other thing with part of what's put me off is, the grading companies are charging a bit more now.
they're charging a bit more, and their scale has changed. Where everything was a 948 plus before, it seems in the modern world, and I hope I'm not speaking out of line. The scale has shifted, and you're getting 988 pluses falling out of people's butts, man.
Yeah.
And,
So I have some of these in bags and some not. This one's not in a bag. But this one. So not first Pikmin. It's Pikmin 2. Grade that.
same deal. Yeah, first party Nintendo, I think absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's going to
If
run in
it's
that
a
948 plus range, I
yeah
would
or
grade it.
better.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
It
basically,
should.
it could have some light surface scratching for those who are listening. Like it could have some light surface scratching, or the cellophane's like perfect, but maybe it has like one small cut somewhere. I
Or
still,
divot.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna
Any
Yeah.
still
That
possibly
then
slices,
this should A plus. All
if
right.
any of
I'll put
these
that
have
in
any
A.
sort of slice in the insert, it's looks really clean, but it has a slice on the spine, right?
yeah.
I wouldn't grade that because
Uh,
I believe that WADA and CGC murder the grade on stuff like that
yeah, it's like an 8.5.
unfairly when I see other bullshit out there that gets eight.
Now I'll show you. Or I'll show the group here. So this is a game that I want to actually sell because I just on the latest signature I got the best WADA copy and I owned the worst WADA copy. And really, the only difference is there's a little bit of fade on
Okay.
the seam or on the side.
Mhm.
Done.
But like I'm staring at the 9.8 compared to my Thunder Force. I'm a Thunder Force guy, right?
What was the
Yeah, I
seal
just
on that
sold one of
one?
those to a old school collector. It was really
Did you?
nice. Yeah, it's a nice sealed one raw,
What
but
was
it
that?
had a
What
slice in the bottom.
what was that seal on that?
It's an A. So
Yeah.
there's a slice on the seal in the bottom.
Ah,
Yeah, that's very similar to the copy I just sold. Mine slice wasn't quite as pronounced as that, but
so 8.5
It's
A.
it's an incredible copy. You know it it's very very nice. But uh,
is that a Mark
I'll-
Erickson art cover? Pretty sure it is. Does it say on the back of the
yeah, I
label?
think so. Yes, it says Erickson and the
Yeah, that's a cool
yeah
cover. Looks like
yes,
Afterburner. Looks like the NES
Yes.
Afterburner rockets on it, kind of.
and I completely dig it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so if anybody out there is interested in Thunder Force 2,
Reach out to Chris.
I've got one. It's nice. I am betting that you guys are going to say no on this one because and ignore the. I don't know how to make it so you can ignore the price. That is Skyward Sword,
No, don't grade that.
right? Pops
Looks
too
like
big,
there's
right?
indents on the front.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
top
and it has indents on the front. All
top
right.
Yeah.
right.
So I'm putting that in the no pile. But
Yeah,
I checked the population on this and it's huge.
it is huge.
So
That's what she said.
yeah, nice. Uh this is bad but good. So
Grade it.
but it's like a promo copy or a
Ah.
discount copy. So I don't know what to do on that one.
Hmm.
I, I I'm grading it. A lot of people aren't grading stuff like this. I think it could do well.
Because it's the rock. All right.
Mhm.
I'll put that in the yeah pile for now.
Did I freeze?
Yeah, a little
Nope.
bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you're back. You're back. You're
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I think a lot of wrestling is underrated to be graded, and I think
A lot of gamers love wrestling, man.
yeah, the 2K wrestling games are pretty good, man.
Okay, I think the population on this one is too big and nobody cares.
Tech Magic, Pink Panther. Yeah, unless you're getting a 10, I'm not grading it.
Yeah.
Not even 98A plus plus.
Uh,
I don't think
and
you're
I'm
gonna. I mean, what are you into the game for?
nothing. I mean,
Nothing.
yeah, it was,
Okay.
let's see, $80, but I
Okay,
talked
then
to the
you're
guy. I don't think
50
I
in
paid
grading.
80.
You're into it for 130. I don't think you're even in a 98A plus plus. I don't think you're clearing more than 150.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, salt raw.
Uh, this is
I
kind
don't.
of neat because it's the clamshell.
I would
Ah,
grade that.
You would grade that?
Absolutely.
All right.
Clamshell Barbie. Is it a made in USA?
Let me look.
Made in Japan?
Assembled in USA.
Okay, so I don't know if they did a made in Japan copy of this. They but it's not it's assembled in USA, GA rating, high tech expressions. There's no ballistic sticker on the back, is it?
No, it's high
Okay.
tech expressions.
Yeah, it's still like they did on the Jeopardy games. Okay. Is it a vertical overlap or three-sided seam?
3-sided.
I would grade it. It's not
It's
cardboard.
it's in nice shape. So
I think Barbie shit's undervalued. And it always seems to do well, even raw. Maybe I wouldn't grade it then. Because I guess what's your intent with that game?
well, it's part of the set. So
To keep it?
I'll
Yeah.
keep it as long as I keep the set. I don't,
Okay, then I
I
would I
don't
would
know.
grade it.
What does a set collector do? Are we supposed to die with the set?
mhm.
That's like what do you
Yep.
do after you
Yeah,
have the
we have to
set?
get to zero sum. That's how I take the point of their podcast.
Every collector there it needs to be in a mausoleum, I think. You know?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just make the whole coffin out of the
Yeah.
games.
Or just your coffin is underneath and people have access to all your games.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think of that one? I think it's
Oh,
rare, but I don't know.
yeah, I'd grade it. I
Yep.
would grade Beauty and the Beast.
All right.
Or be okay selling it and putting a nice CIB in your collection.
All right. Here's one that you're gonna say no to. There's like 100 of them, I think.
Yeah. Well, and that's not even an early print.
No,
So
but
No.
here's the thing, the early
How
prints
can
are
you
much more
tell?
common than that one, Matt.
it's true. Josh is not wrong there.
Uh,
But
but
it's
there's
really
zero education
DLC
on this stuff.
DLC collection included.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why.
it's really weird to me that Modern Warfare 2 and 3 to me were both phenomenal. I loved them both almost equally. And it was amazing to me watching when I was collecting before everything Modern Warfare 2 took off, they were all $20 the next day, they were 100, 200, so on and so forth.
Hmm.
But Modern Warfare 3 never changed. It was still 20 bucks, 20 bucks, 20 bucks. Maybe it hit 30 after a while, but it still hasn't really changed. And
Oh,
Yeah, even you and I
it's a good
bought
game
every
though.
single copy
it
on
was a
eBay, Matt.
great game. I think it's so undervalued, but I just don't know numbers wise. Like maybe there was a gazillion more copies of it, and that's why. But still,
Hmm.
what do you think, Josh?
Don't grade it.
Yeah, it's not, you don't grade it, but it's an amazing.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. I Well, I sent an order into WADA actually. Should you want me to run down the list and see what you guys think? Do you have any more games to go over,
Oh
Chris?
yeah, dude, I've got a
Let's
whole
let's do
pile,
it.
And
whole stack.
here's how hypocritical I am about what I just said too, Chris.
No, don't grade
I
it.
I just sent in two Modern Warfare 3s to grade. So that's how hypocritical I am.
I know. I think about the shit that I just sent in after Chris holds that up. Grade. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it looks nice too. It's not gonna grade super mega high. It's got a little
Yeah.
ding there, but I'm pretty happy.
I think it's
with
such
that.
a cool
That's such a good
cover.
guy.
Such a cool cover, and cardboard
Oh, I know,
Sega
right?
CD is really really hard to get good grades on. So I sent in a black hole. Was it that black hole assault? I just sent one of those in.
Black Hole Assault. What system is that?
Is that Sega CD?
Oh, oh yeah, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
totally.
So cardboard.
Still
Really.
haven't sent bouncers in. I haven't cleaned it up. All right, this is going to definitely be a no from you guys. That's why there's so much bubble wrap on it.
Definitely a no. No, I would grade it. Absolutely.
That one was cool. I don't know. I'd sell it raw too, but what do you guys think about now if I give this away as like, oh, here's the issue with it, like it means that I'll probably never be rid of it, but let me go ahead and tell you anyway. If
Okay.
you look up here,
Yeah.
there's some
The slice.
cardboard that made its way into the game.
Oh, snap.
It's under the shrink wrap. So it's a part of the box.
Can you take it out of the box protector?
Yeah, let
Dude,
me do
that's
that.
bizarre. I've never seen that before.
I've seen weird shit like this.
I've got it in a box protector and then I've got it in a bag.
Yeah, because the earth moves, I understand.
Yeah. So let
Yeah.
me see if I can get that closer.
Wow, that's bizarre. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean it's a
Manufacturing.
manufacturing thing, but what what do they penalize a manufacturer? It's
Oh yeah.
definitely from manufacturing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still an imperfection. Whether it
You're
came
not gonna get hit too hard. It's not super unsightly.
Right. It doesn't cross the artwork. So
Yeah. I
um
feel like it's from the box die cut when they were punching them out,
yes,
and it
absolutely.
just hung out on the box, and then they sent it through after the gluer and folder. They sent it through
Yep.
the
They
spring
just
tunnel.
sent it through and it got shrink wrapped that way.
Interesting.
What do you think that'll do to the grade?
Well, what's the
eight
rest
five.
look like?
It's a beautiful, beautiful copy.
I
I mean,
think you're getting a 9.2 A plus if it's a nice seal.
Eight
yeah, it's a
five.
very nice seal.
No, a
You
defect
don't
like
think I
that,
could hit 9.4?
manufacturing defect should not bring something down to an 8.5, especially when you see a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time that has a crunch in the fucking front. Sorry.
We should
Right.
we should
Right. I
gamble.
was shocked at that.
We should gamble on this and pay for the grading for Chris.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
We're
let's
going to cover the cost of
'Cause
grade on this,
I'd
Chris.
like to see a 9.4 A plus.
I'm saying that hits. Okay, so I've had manufacturing defects on hang tab black box games where when the die cut is getting dull, and you've seen under it's there's so few of them, but you'll see it on a hang tab game. Like I've seen on multiple copies of hang tab Wild Gunman, where the sombrero is, because the die cut was dull, it's kind of folded up just right
Oh,
above the sombrero.
Huh.
And it's just like a slight fold in it, so you can see just the slightest of white. And everything else was pretty nice on this Wild Gunman, and I've seen it on a couple others that Wada's done, and they give them 9.2 A pluses
Wow.
typically
all
because
right.
of the manufacturing defect. I think a manufacturing defect like this gives you a 9.2 A plus because of placement, and it's not
And
really
I
that.
and I'm saying an 8.5.
Not saying an 8.5.
We're gonna say the loser pays.
Sure. Yeah.
Or we both. I'll pitch in. I don't care.
All right, I'll get it sent in, and you're thinking WADA.
Well, okay. Well, you send it wherever
Well,
you want.
CGC isn't even an option. What their hold time is like a billion
85
days.
days. Yeah.
Yeah, go with Wada. I'll PayPal you some money. And
And if you do it right now, you can do a speed run for 15 days for 59.99.
yeah, do that, and I'll send you $30
All right,
I
all
owe him
right,
30 bucks
I
too.
will.
if you want. I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's up to
Okay,
you.
this one has it's in a bag, and the bag has a dent, but the game doesn't have a dent. It's decent.
Go 13. Oh,
No.
Renegade.
Ah, I love the game.
Grade it.
or sell it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, if it's staying in your collection, I'd still grade it. I don't think I have that one.
That's a great title, man.
Yeah,
I
I love that
both
game.
with both Die Hard and Renegade, I I bought them to sell them. I bought them because
Because you're not an NES
I
collector.
paid a lot of money, so I might lose, but I bought them to sell them.
Okay.
Let me see. All right, so all right.
You know, I had a monkey ball that had a manufacturing defect for GameCube. There was a piece of paper underneath the wrap on the back for GameCube. It got a 9.8.
Oh wow.
I just
Yeah,
forgot
so
about that.
maybe they
So,
won't see the, podcast.
Players watching right now, making notes and
Plus 8
gonna
plus
mess with all of us.
it's okay.
divided by.
Standards change, standards evolve. Let's call it that.
All right,
I don't
let's
know.
see. I'm going to do the math on this one. All right, so I got a Mario 64. It was a
Wow.
very nice copy. It ended up grading a 9. Uh, Specifically, the box is a 9.4, the cart is an 8, and the
Ooh,
manual is a 9.2. So this, I
good.
did find a better cart for it. Now, I don't know if the cart will go for sure. It should not, it should be a 9, but let me do the math. 9.4 plus 9.4
9.2
plus say 8.5 plus
should be
9.2 divided by 4. So theoretically, if I have an 8.5 cart on this, it would bump it to a 9.2. Is that worth doing?
Grade the cartridge first.
What's that?
Grade the cartridge first,
uh,
unless you're looking to sell it quick.
So grade the cartridge separate
Maybe.
instead of regrading the box, or instead of regrading this.
Maybe grade the cartridge separate, sell it together as a set, and let somebody else deal with it.
Somebody else marry it.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
huh.
I don't know.
That's
You
an
got about
interesting.
time. It depends on how much you have into it, time. What do you want to do? Right.
Yeah, this is my cart.
Having
If
That
you feel confident in the grade of it, send it all in together, like,
having that nice of a box is a great start, though. I think you've got the
Mhm.
value there
yeah,
already. Yeah.
yeah. I think it did good. All right.
Yeah.
All
You're gonna do okay on that one.
right. So this is a factory sealed Dragoon for PS1. Uh, all of the seals that I've seen so far have been Y seals. This is not.
to shrink.
It's a shrink seal,
Yeah, you're fine.
and I know it's fine, but
Yeah.
it does have a little ding in the seal right there. So I think it'll do like an A seal. But
I'd grade it.
okay. I've had good luck with this game before. I had
Yeah.
a very highly rated one, and I at the height of everything, I sold it for $1,000. Um,
Great game. I
yeah,
I, I
it's a
remember
great
when they
game.
were
Everybody tends to love it. Um, I just didn't know that, like, with the population, if the population is too high at this point or not.
I don't know how many they've done in a black label on that, but I remember when they were closing that game out at Toys R Us with they had them at my Toys R Us along with the PS1 minis, that game and Blast Lacrosse, and then the mini screen attachments for the PS1. And
Oh, those are cool.
yeah, and dude, I didn't buy any of the Legend of Dragoons. We bought every copy of Blast Lacrosse because I think they were $10 and we could sell them for 30 or 40. And then the PS1 mini screens were $15 a piece. We didn't buy any of them.
All right, so this is a
We fucked
CIB.
up.
Do you even recognize it? Do you know
No,
what it is?
what are we looking at?
This is Don Pachi for the PlayStation 1. It's an arcade shmup, and it's a Japanese exclusive release on the PS1.
So I've
So
never heard of the game, and I would say I've heard of a lot of games, Chris, but I'm also not the shmup guy in the world. I know a handful, right? I like them, but I don't know this game at all.
yeah, and
My personal opinion is
that
no.
should factor into it, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. Don't grade it.
I know
And
nothing
it's
about it.
it's CIB with the spine card, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I graded a CIB. I graded a CIB. Uh, uh, what's the Saturn one? Why can't I think?
Radiant Silver Gun.
Yeah, Radiant Silver
I would
Gun.
grade
I
that.
didn't have the spine card on that.
What's the Mega Drive one? The big Mega Drive um, shooter that everybody wants.
Lightning Force, probably.
No, something elemental.
Oh, Elemental Master,
No, no, something. Uh,
Lucia.
I can picture the cover.
What was the game we were
I've
looking
got
at?
I've got at least half of the Genesis shooters sealed.
What was the dragon
No.
game we were just looking at earlier? What was the name?
Legend of the
Pirates.
Dragon.
Oh yeah. Well, this one is probably going to happen just because that's the
Wow. There's only 53 graded copies of the
and
Legend
I
of
think
Dragon.
it's a really gorgeous copy too.
I would grade Thunder Force, Japanese Thunder Force for, or is that what is that 6?
That one's 6.
Yeah,
So
I would grade Thunder Force. What is the?
I don't have Thunder Force 1 yet, but I've got 2, 3, 4 in high grade. I've got 5 in CIB. I've got Thunder Spirits. I've got the AC packs for Saturn,
Thunder Force
which are
5.
like compilation packs. So
Okay.
I'm getting close on my Thunder Force collection.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting one that I don't know if I should. Had it all packaged up because I thought, I should definitely go and grade this. And then I thought, wait, should I? Bloodborne.
No.
No?
I don't know that one.
Bloodborne is like a Dark Souls sequel.
Got it.
It is the PS4 version. It's enormously, insanely popular, and like the series had just now released another sequel.
A lot of this might
Is
be
there are there distinguishable prints on Bloodborne?
I'm not sure. I haven't looked.
So if there are, I would say if you have the distinguishable first print of a game like this, then possibly I would check population reports, even at VGA. I would look at their pop report. I would look at WADA and see which version you have, compare it. If it is, say, something like a first print Zelda Breath of the Wild or something goes pretty nice, or Mario Odyssey first prints, right? Maybe it's something like that. And if that's the case, then yes. Otherwise, no. I'm going to err on the side of caution and say that there's about 5 PS4 games you should actually grade.
Now I've got one from Hopper. I bought a Madden Championship. This is another. I managed to luck into the other variant. So there's 2 variants of Madden Championship, and this one is
baby.
a very nice copy. The thing that gets me about these is it's very, very difficult to find. I got a little paranoid. I even put stuff in there, but it's very difficult to find the manual in nice shape, and
The
it's
correct one,
essentially
right?
flawless. The cartridge is essentially flawless. It's
What
like it's never been used.
which version is that? Is that the not the rental one?
This is the EA Sports version, not the rental exclusive.
What's it say on the sticker?
So the sticker says if it's in the game, it's in the game.
So, do you know where this one came from?
Well, eBay.
But the how people could acquire this copy of Madden?
Oh, I don't know. I got mine at Blockbuster. So
Was
I
yours a
don't.
rental? Does it say? Is it
Yeah,
the
mine
rental
was
group?
the rental one.
Okay.
In fact, that's the other copy that I have. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I know the lineage on this game pretty well. Um, I think it's super underrated.
I do too. And it's Madden. It's probably the hardest to find Madden.
I
Um,
couldn't agree more. So y the copy you just showed was mail order from EA newsletter.
Mm.
whoa.
Yep, there's a little one. I can't remember which issue of the EA newsletter it is, but in the last page of it, it says, order your copy of Madden Championship Edition, and you can cut it out and fill out a form.
That is rad.
And then the rental exclusive, yes, it was Blockbuster, but it wasn't a Blockbuster exclusive. When that game came out, Kmart carried, they got 2 copies at each Kmart, and you could go in and buy that game for $80 at Kmart if you are a mom and pop rental store.
Wow.
Wow.
So not only you could get, so they sent them to Blockbuster, but I know that because Rick Weiss told me when that game came out, he went to Kmart and bought the 2 copies they got.
Of course
So,
he did.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean I was all about it when they were selling the used copies from Blockbuster. So of course.
Mhm.
And then this
Of
one,
course you were. You've been
this
around a
one,
while.
I'm probably gonna ignore advice and grade it. It's called Espagluta or Espagluta. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but this is a cave shooter. Um, Cave is pretty legendary in the shooter community for bullet hell shooters. There
Mhm.
was a sequel to this on the 360. Uh, it's it's an absolutely killer game. Uh, it's Japanese exclusive. Uh, what would you think if you were talking to a sane person? What would you say?
If I'm talking to a shmup scene person in general,
Yeah,
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 grade it. If you're talking to Josh Byerly, I'd say don't do it. But if this is something that you're keeping and you don't really, you're not like, I'm gonna get a 9.6 A plus and send this off to auction on eBay. No, don't do it, Chris.
right,
Don't do it.
right.
Um, yeah, a lot of this stems from what are your motives?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like
All
with
right,
my,
so that's my should I grade it? I actually have others, but I know that they're no's. Let's go through your submission then.
My submission? Okay.
Yeah,
Let me pull it up here.
yeah.
Okay,
and
Element Down, that's the one, Chris.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yes.
The
That
Japanese, right?
or it's something down. Uh,
Is it was
God.
it only in Japan?
Yes, it was only
Okay.
in Japan.
That's the hot one everybody wants, right? Uh
Eliminate down. I knew
okay, eliminate
I knew
okay,
I
not
didn't have it
element.
right.
Eliminate down, that's it. That's I was
Yep.
thinking element master, like you said, but
Yeah,
okay.
Elemental Master.
All right, so let me get the
While you're
WADA
pulling
order.
that up, I'll show the couple of games that I got while I was in Japan. Alien Soldier. Um, very, very difficult Mega Drive game to pick up. Over here, probably goes for about a grand. And then Panorama Cotton is my other one of my other big ones.
Nice.
This one is also very difficult to find. I think about $800 if you were to get it over here. Um,
For the record, the reason I was grading those Modern Warfare 3s was for my own collection, not for, it makes no sense to resale.
All those 9.6 A pluses I got should be 9.8s now. So
I know. I got so many 9.6 A
so did
plus.
I just stopped grading them. I was like, what the fuck?
and then that everybody's got to have a copy of that, right?
Rondo, yeah.
Yep.
Is that just that's CIB? Yeah,
Yeah, it's CIB. I don't have the J card,
no
but
card.
I picked this up at a game store in Japan. That is a cool thing.
That's
And
cool.
then a
That's kind of the thing,
Parodius
right?
game for Super Famicom.
Yeah, that's cool too, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your Japanese game hunting experience was expensive but worthwhile.
Yeah, I in the metro areas, it's really difficult to find anything super cheap. You can, I don't know, maybe the more expensive the item, the more of a discount you can kind of get, just because they don't move as fast. But
Hmm.
yeah, Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka, entirely deal free, man. There was I'll tell you what I did find a deal on was controllers. I got some 100 yen controllers, which
Nice.
not bad. So I loaded up on a couple of those. If you wanted to go for like the super cheap stuff, but at some point, like, what am I going to do? I'm going to have a suitcase full of just trash, and then I'm going to bring it here, and would I be able to sell it? And like, I'm not in the import export business, man. I'm not going to try to go over there to get a whole bunch of cheap games to come back and, like, I don't know what, pay for my trip with, like, loose Famicom carts. That's just
Don't
not
do it.
not how I'm going to roll. So I stuck to the stuff that I really wanted. I didn't find everything. It's actually really hard to find Mega Drive titles. Like, you can find a lot of Famicom games, and Super Famicom is really common.
Hmm.
But holy cow, it was difficult to find Mega Drive games.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, I need to go. I'd like to go. I'd like to go game hunting. Now
Well,
that
yeah, and besides that, if you can go to the Nintendo store and pick up a little juice glass, that's pretty cool.
nice.
And let's see. These things are cool too. At the Nintendo stores, they have these exclusive gashapon. So they're little keychains that are segments of the controller.
Huh, that's neat.
Yeah.
That's neat. Okay, so I got this WADA order up that I submitted yesterday, sent off. $1,000 plus order I sent in.
Wow. Geez, big.
20 games. All right. I probably shouldn't have graded any of these. I'm looking at it now. God of War. This was I was hoping it was a black label under the Canadian insert wrap, but it was not. So it
Oh,
was Greatest Hits God of War. Took the Canadian insert wrap off. Dead mint under. Bad to grade it? No. What do you think?
Well, greatest hits, but it's God of War.
It's it should 9.8 A plus plus.
Yeah.
It's
That's
beautiful.
what'll save that one if it's
Yeah,
a
that's why I sent it
9
in.
plus.
yeah.
Yeah. I paid too much for them to begin with, so
Oh no.
yeah. I was really hoping they were black labels underneath the wrap, so uh,
I don't think
but
I've seen that packaging. So that's interesting that they put so what they do, they put Canadian, like a wrap over it that's Canadian, and then they
mhm.
shrink wrap that
They
on
shrink wrap
top
the
of the shrink
insert
wrap.
in the manual over a standard copy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
Get
so
there.
then you have a nice sealed copy underneath.
Yeah.
So, okay, TMNT GameCube. Case fresh.
Case fresh. TMNT is hot. It's
Yeah.
always been it's always been a big brand name, but like that one's probably the least
Yeah, it's
of
Ubisoft
those
trash.
titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a grayed out. That's a lot of this stuff. I was pretty selective with condition. That's why I sent it in. There's a few that aren't. So I got a Daffy Duck Marvin mission on Super Nintendo. I sent in. Uh, it looks like a 9.0 A
But I
plus.
love that. That's cool.
Yeah. Or this stuff is all to sell. I'm gonna sell this stuff.
Yep.
And then yeah. So
What do you
I
think
got
that
that
you'll
off
be
eBay.
able to get out of that if it does get the 9.0?
I don't know. Probably not what I paid for it.
Oh no,
Think I
come on.
paid 300 bucks for it on eBay, but it looked nicer in the photos. And I'm such a slow person when it comes to thinking about saying, "Hey, there was an issue. I want to return it." But
Yeah, I don't bother. I kind of
neither
figured.
do I. Man, okay. NBA Street for GameCube, 9.48 plus territory. Probably a bad grade.
Man, so many people do the sports games and they do okay with it. NBA Street's an interesting one. I think that's okay.
I think it would. I think it should do well. Okay, this was a different one. It wasn't even in the WADA database to type in. It's the double pack Transformers double pack for the Nintendo Wii. I bought it off Deal Tavern. Perfect condition. They've never graded one, so I did it as a placeholder. But it's this weird Transformer double pack thing. It looks like
Huh.
it's perfect. So
Huh.
I'm trying to do a little arbitrage on something like that. 20
It's got
bucks,
it,
50 bucks
it's got a
grading.
great brand name. It's an unusual variant, and you're the first to do it. So
Maybe I can make 30 bucks on it if it grades out. I
yeah,
don't know.
move quick on it.
Be a
Yep.
good
Okay.
experiment.
Yep. Air Force Delta Storm for Xbox, OG Xbox.
It's an earlier game for Xbox, but Xbox has not been doing very
I know.
well.
I had three of these. I think I sold one raw, didn't get much for it.
Right.
Um, Charge and Blast for Dreamcast. What do you think?
Dreamcast is another one that I don't know why, but you see them in auction, and there's only a couple of titles that do really well.
Yeah,
It's
I don't know.
Sonic
okay.
maybe, and
I've had really good experience with selling Dreamcast graded.
Yeah,
And it's
huh,
always I usually put up stuff for buy it now for like a week and then I'll just run an auction. And I did that and I think I put what was it Rush 2049 up for
that's a great title.
it was the highest graded one. It's already like $150 game.
Right.
Um so I put it up for like $1,100 buy it now. And somebody in Canada offered me 850 bucks. I was like all day, let's do this.
Cool.
You know.
Yeah.
Um, so I open auctioned South Park Rally on Dreamcast, and it sold for over $800 in a 9.6 A plus.
wow.
That
So
is shocking to me.
Yeah.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
So
wouldn't
Wow.
think that there's that much juice behind that one.
there's
Wow.
some juice behind all Dreamcast, I feel like, and so this was like a game that wasn't a one of those case pack games that Orange ST guy was always selling on eBay.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, somebody in Florida found cases of this stuff, Charge and Blast. So some whatnot sellers have been selling it. I bought one for 50 bucks. It's case fresh, so I figured I'd send it in. I got it the other day,
Couple
and
of there's a couple
sorry.
of titles on Dreamcast that people love, will always love: the Marvel Capcoms,
Mhm.
the Shenmue, the even though I think there's a lot of them. The Sonic
Oh
Adventure,
yeah, Sonic
Sonic
Adventure,
Adventure 2 is an expensive, even CIB. So
yeah,
like
Skies of Arcadia and Grandia.
Skies of
Yeah,
Arcadia,
those always do well.
beautiful.
hmm Uh, Jackass the game for Nintendo DS. Was that a bad idea or a good idea?
Wow.
Man,
I've
I
never, s-
feel like that's a really interesting one.
Okay.
that's a good experiment. I
I
like
did
that one.
Yeah.
Jackass for the PSP, the game, Jackass the game, not a UMD movie, but Jackass the game for PSP, and it sold beyond my expectations.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah. CGC's, did you go to CGC for your PSP stuff?
I can't remember where I graded that one. I think I did that one at WADA, but
Really?
yeah, I have done a bunch with both at this point, but um, I paid $17 shipped for that Jackass PSP game, graded it for 50 or whatever. I ended up selling it for like $210 open auction on eBay.
That's not bad at all.
No. So I think there's like games like that have weird like play room where you can mess around and see if you can make some money on something because nobody's looking to grade these things like Jackass or another one I like to try is Pimp My Ride. You know, this stuff that
Yeah,
kind
stuff
of
that
hits
has
that
big brand appeal, but
this
like the games
2000s
weren't
ish
all
culture of
that.
yeah. That was mass culture in the 2000s, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
MTV was it. So,
Celebrity death match, the whole
yep.
thing.
Well,
Yeah.
that leads me to the next one. I did send in a celebrity death match for PS1
I
that I
like that.
bought.
Awesome.
Hooters.
I think that's cool.
Hooters would be a
Also
good
a
one.
case fresh game. So, I I think there's these things that are just pop culture that are cheap enough right now. You just dig enough on eBay, you can find these things where there are case packs and mint copies of them,
Yeah.
and they will do well if they grade out. That's really where the play is right now in graded stuff. If you are trying to make money at it,
That's really an interesting.
and what it does is you're grabbing those people that really haven't thought about buying a graded item because
Right, right.
they're
And
buying
that's
their childhood of 2000.
and they're not even necessarily gamers, right?
Mhm.
They want the thing on their shelf.
Yeah,
You know,
because they watched South Park or Celebrity Deathmatch, and that
right,
was it. South
right.
Park, I get, I really do, but this MTV shit, I'm confused why it works, but I get it why it does.
I bet you if you found the Adult Swim stuff that'd do really well too.
Yeah, I've thought about the doing the Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but I think it's already kind of expensive. The
Yeah,
other
no,
ones that I think
that one is, but there's and I think that there's others.
I thought about doing like the Adventure Times on Wii U, but I don't know. I just don't think Wii U has it yet.
No, I don't think anybody's going after the Wii U stuff.
Yeah. All right. I mean, we're just kind of dragging along here. I did a Smash Melee that I got at the Side Quest show. It's a made in Japan. Um,
Is it sealed?
it's sealed. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Shepherd's Crossing on PS2. Nobody
Sure.
grades them.
Nobody
Uh,
grades them, and it's uncommon.
hmm Super Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. THQ made in Japan, not Majesco.
Ooh,
And
ooh.
it's only going to grade like a 7.5.
Ah, well, I mean, it's, it's Star Wars. It's Super Nintendo.
It's
I
a
don't
rare variant.
know.
I'm banking
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have sent it in, but I was like, fuck it. Got to do it. So, Siren on PS2. What are your thoughts?
It's got the same kind of energy as, Kuan and everything else.
Just
So,
not the same value at this point.
no,
Oh,
but
okay.
but horror people like horror. There's
Yeah.
some people that you can always count on, wrestling fans, horror fans,
hmm
and apparently shooter fans because I got a pile,
And Pokemon.
Apparently MTV fans too.
and Pokemon fans. Yeah,
Pokemon's like your go-to safe harbor if that's where you want to play.
Yeah.
right.
All right, that's it. I mean, I think we could do this all night, right? Should you grade it? Should you not? The
All right,
real, the
what did you
answer is
guys get
probably
for
not.
yourselves? What's your
Oh,
what's your
we gotta read
latest
comments real quick.
acquisitions?
Oh, we're
No,
gonna read comments,
we gotta
Chris.
read comments real quick.
Oh, all right, cool.
uh Don't need that. Let me make sure I have it open. Okay, there we go. Because we just had Brian Baker on the show. It's a lot of fun. It's a good
Got my
dude.
Shaq Fu shirt on. Look at that.
It's a good dude.
Yeah, Brian's a good guy.
A lot of great guests lately.
Brian might be the ultimate troll.
He is the ultimate. He's the quiet, unexpected troll. That
Brian, I see you. I know what you're doing out there in the shadows.
we can get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, we don't have to
Oh,
talk about that.
look who it is. Josh, go for it.
Did we talk about apples?
No. Well,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Did someone say apple season? Be very, very quiet. It's cherry season, apple season, cherry season, apple season, pear season.
It's
Eric,
some kind of encoded, cryptid message here.
you son of a bitch. Uh, maybe
Pear,
he's coming on the show.
pear season. Time to come on.
Be the perfect pairing, Eric.
Oh, oh God, that hurt.
Yeah.
Uh, Marty the one man party. Amazing video. Brian has some bangers. I have to agree with him that mint first print CIBs is where it's at, given that most rarely have any sealed. Please bring Sean from Reserved Investments so we can watch Josh destroy him.
I was kind of mean, right? Like I don't want to destroy the guy. I just wish he would really try to.
He talks sense, but he talks the same thing
He
over
does.
again. He
He's
does a
not.
lot of dating advice. Oh my gosh.
Carl Jobs has some great dating advice too. How to pick up women. Um, Sean's not terrible. He just doesn't know target variants. I guess that's what got me going.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my problem lies within his reach of an audience and giving misinformation to that reach. And that it
Yeah.
does a disservice to video game collecting as our hobby because that's where we like to exist, right? So it bothers me when people get bad advice that are on the outside. I think that's what really made me upset about the whole thing. So
Yeah.
try to give good advice. I should be nicer, and I'll leave it at that.
All right. So this comment's from Joseph Leo, so we can skip it. Oh wait, no.
It's not Genesis related, so sorry, Joe.
What? Just gonna skip over the comments in my visit to show twice in a row? The nerve.
Did we?
Also, loving the unique collectors. I never even thought paintball was a collectible category.
I
Did we
Joe, I didn't
skip
think
it?
it was a collectible thing either.
Joe, write your book. Get this on Kickstarter. Talk to the guy that did the GI Joe book. Do the book.
Yeah, everybody was down. Even Dane commented that he was in
Yeah,
on the book.
maybe just don't do Kickstarter and start selling some games and write the book.
Do you think Nintendo would have a hard time? I mean, there are other people that wrote books about Nintendo. So
Nintendo don't give a shit if you're going to write a book about collecting.
Did we seriously skip the comments on his episode? I don't think we did.
I don't think we
I don't
covered
know.
on that.
I just thought it'd be a funny thing to
Yeah.
say that we were going to skip his comments. So
I think we
Sorry,
didn't
Joe.
read his comments, Matt, but
We skipped them?
we may have. Yeah. There was one where you were too tired and we're like, I got to go to bed.
Well,
All right. HW5091 says reserved investments isn't too bad. He's just more of a general guy. Doesn't know variants, so he should keep his trap closed when talking in absolutes, but he's
Right.
not too bad overall. Okay. Yeah.
that's a
I-
fair comment. I like that.
That's fair. Yeah. I agree with you. I just get upset really easily when it's really bad information. That's all. And maybe it's not bad information. It's misguided information.
it's
And Sega Saturn, I totally disagree with him. Sega Saturn is probably not the stuff you should be buying if you're investing in video games. It's probably the farthest thing you should be buying.
everybody's got a diss on the Sega stuff.
I
Somebody's
love the Saturn, but I don't think you should be buying it as an investment. I
Yeah.
don't think Panzer Dragoon, uh, any of that shit is a good buy invest from an investment standpoint. It was just always the hot game that everybody talked about. And
We're
Yeah.
Albert Odyssey, right?
we
Like
already
those are
talked about good investments. Pokemon is like the safest thing you could ever do. You could even be wrong and do okay with Pokemon.
In the short term, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if this is the junk wax era of Pokemon cards or what.
it
I
could
don't know
be.
what the burnout's going to be in 5 years, but right now, yeah,
It could be the junk wax.
I,
Mario and Zelda outside of that are
Yeah.
always my
No,
yeah,
that's fair. I'll give it to Sean
yep.
on putting out generalized content that appeals to the masses because that's we want to appeal to the masses in video game collecting. I think it's a good way to bring people over, but yeah.
make
Okay.
make love not robots, who is now in the Discord, and I did get you that link, so thanks for emailing. Another great guest. I find it interesting to learn about secondary collections of people that collect video games. I miss the days of paintball in the woods with the boys back in the 90s. Yeah, many bruises and good times. Yeah, lots of woodball memories in the 90s. That was a lot of fun.
Hmm. Broke back paintball, huh, Matt?
What's that?
Nothing. You heard.
Easy 054098 says the reserve investment guy is actually pretty knowledgeable. He's trying to egg Josh on. That was entertaining. It worked. It
Yeah,
worked.
it's fine. Triggers, right?
Triggered. Oh god.
Okay, I
Yeah.
gotta say something. Even to the point where he was so confident in how wrong he was in the comments of his own video when people were very kind to him. VG Collectaholic even went in there and was said something about the very in a very nice way, and he's like, "I had cases of those." Dot 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 ellipsis, right? Like, leave it out there.
No, he didn't.
And like, you didn't.
Oh, you did.
He did not.
You just shut up, dude. Don't just be like, "Oh, thanks for the information. I didn't know." Be graceful. I think that's where I get worked up to when people are so just narcissistically full of themselves and they can't take any sort of not advice, but facts. Like, be graceful about things.
We're,
Not like me. Just be like, thanks for the information. I didn't know that. I don't have to update it, but I'll acknowledge that in the comments here that I may have spoken out of turn or some shit.
This is the relationship advice channel that we're talking about still, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's it. That's it. I can't stop.
uh, I
Ah,
think
he's fine.
I think it's you, Josh.
Okay.
Blockbuster.
DM4 Hollywood Sports Speedball 2003, 2000. You should read this because I have no idea what
Okay,
he's
Die
talking.
DM4 Hollywood Sports Speedball 2003, 2004 circa. My buddy and I played Speedball 2 versus 2, and we were winning everyone there. He used a single action pump, and I had the Die DM4. Nice. Someone approached us and asked to join our team. We said no. We instead would go back home after In and Out and play World of Warcraft vanilla. Um, the,
That that
the,
first sentence reads like a stroke. Like I can't even parse what's happening in that sentence. So I think I need an explanation, man.
All right.
greatest quote ever. And
Okay.
the paintball company is now a hugest online retailer, and we passed passed on it to play WoW.
Got it.
You want to know what a stroke reads like, you guys. This
Die
is why
DM4
Blockbuster
Hollywood
fees.
Sports Speedball. It
Like a stroke. Oh God. Uh,
I think Sheryl Crow could write a song about that. Anyway,
That I'm putting that as quote of the year. Oh, sorry.
it's nice, Chris.
I'm crying. Okay, somebody else. Anybody? Josh, no. Go for it, Chris. Oh,
Damn, you guys are quick by Josh Barley.
oh,
Yeah, I Matt posted the video. I came in to be the first comment, and it was already there.
yeah, Blockbuster and Timmy, when they want to
Man.
be, it's insanely fast. Like I post it and somehow there's a comment already. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Is it like notifications or
I don't even know that it's that. It's almost like he's got an algorithm built in somewhere that like automatically lightning fires a first or something. It's at that point almost.
wow?
Yeah,
Yeah, the video was up for 41 seconds, and Tim said second question mark, and it was like 41 seconds into the post. I was like, what the fuck,
so
man?
the point is Timmy's algorithms are slower, so he needs new servers or he needs to, get off Starlink and
Or the help desk.
Yeah.
you need FiOS. And then yeah, Blockbuster is first. Did I get it? He even commented twice before Timmy got in there. You did. When I clicked the comments, it already said first posted. And then he
Yeah.
just
Is
laughed
is
at.
Timothy the Gamer Stunks guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
which funny enough, I had that pulled up and it still is down.
I have I don't know. I found the API that was being used for CGC and uh sure enough they have security on it now.
Oh.
I guess you should be able to get there as a dealer.
We
Okay.
holy
Um, but yeah,
I thought we read the comments on
We
this.
read the comments on this. Did we not?
there's no replies.
Oh, you've got a good point. Oh, snap.
All right, we'll read them real quick,
Are you
Joe.
All right.
down? Are you down, Chris? Is that okay?
Of course.
All right. Go for it. You go first then.
All right. What a great guest and what a great episode and what a great gift at the end of the podcast. Thanks so much for Joseph for sharing your knowledge on podcast with us and especially your hard work on rarity sheets. It's so amazing.
Oh my gosh.
I have no clue you can filter by eBay safe searches like that. Life will be so much easier now. Upon finishing watching this episode, I nearly hit watch it again. How interesting it was. I'll listen to it again, though, in a few months. Yeah. And that's Kestis Gimbick is 6917.
69-17.
All right, all right, all
Should
right.
have been a 24/7 69, man.
All right, Josh, go for it.
Okay. The Rad Workshop says anything I have that doesn't belong with the game itself, I bag and board like a comic book, then put in a long box of weird video game with whatnot clusterfuck. Sorry for the buckshot comments. I just comment as the show goes on. That's fair. You know
That's a
what?
really interesting way to
I
do it.
I
Like,
actually I love this comment. Before you even said this, I had so many extra bags and boards from just boarding comics. I actually started bagging all my miscellaneous shit for video game stuff, including stuff that goes with the game,
really?
not with the game, and it's all in comic long boxes right now. And I've been slowly bagging and boarding my GameStop promo inserts.
I mean,
Like
it's a good idea, but it's also insane.
it's insane. I have boxes of this shit now, and I can't believe how much of it I have. But I sorted out duplicates of this stuff, so if anybody ever wants to collect those inserts, I have them, and I know what I don't need. So
It's one of my issues right now is I'm out of room again. I get to the point where okay, I got to sell, 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 sell. I just am selling all of my Xbox and all of my PS1. Well, not all, but almost all of both of those systems because I have a bunch of CIB stuff and you know why do I have it?
how nice is it, Chris?
Um, nice enough.
Nice enough to put in my collection.
I've been probably not nice enough for your collection, but it was nice enough for my collection for 20 years. Um, but I been selling a bunch of it at like conventions. I've got another one later this month, and I did another one this past weekend, and I did really well at it.
Okay.
Turns out when you empty out the shelves, people like what you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rad workshop. You say you're losing people at a certain point in an episode. We do say that a lot. I can't speak for all viewers, but this is the reason I watch your podcast. You don't get this sort of deep dive nest banter anywhere else. This is your bread. This is your bread and butter. Keep doing what you do.
Yeah, we barely mentioned Genesis today.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, Chris is not a guest anymore, you guys. Chris is a part-time host of the show. So
There you go.
we're going to be trying to get him on here more often if we can. And
Yeah.
just
Marty, the
going
one
over
man party
Genesis.
says, man, you three are like walking video game encyclopedias. Your knowledge of game variants is insane. Yeah, Josh, man, you know so much, and it really does you need to start writing it down, documenting,
Yeah, I guess
sharing.
so.
I don't know how much you can share without giving up a competitive advantage, but
I don't really even care about a competitive advantage. It's all really tied to time.
yeah,
What do
right.
I where do I want to spend my time?
Organizing, selling, all that stuff takes forever.
Yeah, it does.
Go for it, Josh.
Oh, John Vegas says baller episode, deep variant knowledge between Joe and JB, amazing content. Appreciate you guys. Lots of dying on the sword in this one. Joe Leo says we were just geeking out the entire time. Maybe if I get invited again, we can have a proper episode. You're invited anytime. Serious. I wish more people would ask. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
We want more people to ask.
Yeah, I
Chris
agree.
pipes up this morning in our non-existent Discord, and I'm like, "You're coming on the show, Chris." So here we are.
I finally had something to share. Like
You
it's
finally had something to share. Yeah.
been a while. Like all the stuff that I showed tonight, like I've been sitting on it for months. I
I love that you brought stuff on. Should I grade it or should I not? You know.
I think that that should be like a routine thing. Like uh, I think too, like if we could show like the condition and people who aren't doing that all the time, probably could use a little tutelage on what's worth doing and what's not, what's
Oh,
going to ding you too hard.
I like that, and they really a lot of people responded really well to the one episode we did. So we can sporadically come through and just help continue to educate people in that.
I'd like to do one where it's should we grade it with VGA episode where you bring in a bunch of oversized weird shit.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, that's
That's
interesting.
I like that.
Like there's so much stuff that I have that
Mm.
can't go to CGC or WADA.
Yeah,
But I'm
and
like here we go. Like for instance,
well, let's show it in a minute when
Oh
I can
yeah.
put a big
Yep.
screen on it.
okay, we'll put it on the big screen. But I think it'd be a good episode because I've always had this stuff sitting here. I'm like, I should probably grade this, but I just haven't.
Yeah, and you have to take in different considerations because the grading can be more expensive depending on what you're doing. So
Yeah, the
Yep.
consideration is one day my kids come in here and start tearing shit open or something, right? Like,
all right, who's up?
Oh my God, that'd be that wouldn't be good.
I'll read this one. VGA Collectaholic, great supporter. We are Atari people, Joe. Love it. Joseph responds, look at Atari collection. Nuh-uh, you are.
Joe has some Atari games.
Oh, looks at Atari collection. Nuh-uh, you are.
I'm a 3DO collector, actually.
Oh my word. You gotta actually hit the reply button on that, buddy. Oh no, up top.
I just put
You
smile.
have to push reply, Matt.
Oh,
Blue
no,
button.
no,
There you go.
no, Eric likes me to not do
Hey,
that.
Chris, we read these. None of them have comments because Matt didn't hit reply on.
We're actually reading the second time through.
Yeah.
So,
That's right.
Every couple of weeks, we're just gonna read Joe's video.
Yeah,
So
just to make sure he's not left in
And
the
there's
dark.
like 100 comments on this one.
this is a lot.
Let's
How
blow
did it get missed?
let's blow through them. Well, we started waiting a week to release an episode, and so it kind of had this weird.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
Yeah, it is your fault, Matt, because you should just release episodes. Son of a gun.
Yeah, sorry I didn't do it that within the 24 hours. You know,
Okay.
nothing else in life to do at all, ever.
All right. OMG dash WS6LX. Do I need glasses? Holy shit. Guys, I really love your videos. Learning a lot. Well, thanks. We love talking about video games.
Yeah.
So
We
you
really
gotta
do.
build the trust, then start the disinformation campaign.
I have a case of sealed first print Pac-Mans right behind me.
Ooh, that's right.
I
Son
do.
of a bitch.
And because I said it, it's real. Um,
Magneto was right. Says, of course, mail order Doom is the one to own. However, while yes, there are surely some sealed copies out there, none have been available for many years. I think there's one on eBay right now, but no one thinks it's a legit seal. Shareware, sadly, seems almost will have a chance at.
Yeah.
Dude,
Which
that's so
shareware
true.
do you
That's so
want?
true of so many games. I don't know, man. There's a lot that's just out of my range now. I you know,
Yeah.
it's
This
out
is
of my
my
range. It's
micro
uncommon, or I don't want
Stardew.
to fight somebody for it.
Yeah.
I think then there's lots of comments here.
Oh, Joe says, okay.
Yeah. Have you to see one on Heritage? They had a Eklabeth at one point. Maybe that was golden. But either way, if we can get Eklabeth, then Doom deserves its appearance. I think there's a lot of lack of awareness of its existence, to be honest. And then I think there's a lack of them available to purchase. I know of one raw copy in someone's collection, and I don't think they're selling. There's only one graded by VGA at an 80. Wow, that's not even spectacular. And supposedly John Romero has some sealed. No idea if it's a one or if it's 10, but he also isn't selling. You know, one thing that I've noticed is, there's press people out there that if you wanted a fun little experiment, go talk to these people that were working in the press around that time. There's been a couple of collections now that have come up, but um, I bet you that's where all this stuff is.
Probably.
The Henry, the Josh and Cheat Code Weekly, the Josh and Joe episode with Matt. CIBs are a different animal. Love your wording there.
Hmm. Them
I love
sibs.
CIBs.
I do too.
What a nerd. I can't believe you had that guy in this show.
Right? Never again. Oh, no.
HW says fits for the hall. Oh, jeez.
Josh, you're up.
It does fit for the hall, doesn't it? That's funny. Um, I thought Matt was drinking a 40-ounce Mickey's for a moment. It's probably
Actually,
coconut
when
water.
when Josh got on the stream tonight, he was Edward 40 hands.
I thought he had a 42.
Really?
I did. I thought he had a 40.
Just a little Corona.
Edward 40 hits.
Duct tape 240s.
Yeah, man.
You don't get to leave the party until you're done.
I've been there. I've been there. Oh man.
Johnny, Matt, when are we going to talk about those SNES insert? Oh, I know what you're talking about. Back off.
And Johnny, you can go F off.
I mean, didn't Iuchi just pick up like 300,000 inserts?
Johnny, you might be willing to share these, but I am absolutely not willing to share these particular inserts that Matt Rose has. So
I don't know about his,
Uh,
nobody needs to know.
but I know Iucci just picked up. He bought somebody out at Midwest, and
Yeah,
so
I know
he's
about
he's
that.
sitting on a treasure trove of paper that will never see the inside of a game box.
Never, yeah.
Congratulations, I guess. Man, I love those guys' show.
I
It's
do too.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I
They
like it.
they they run a game collecting podcast where they tell you not to do what they do.
Exactly.
And
And
then
then
they just happily do the same thing for a decade.
they're like, well, what'd you buy?
Yeah.
Well, what you buy?
Tyler's always like, I bought the first game for this. I don't know. He'll pull some computer out of
Yeah.
nowhere. I don't know. It's fun. It's funny. It's a good show. And they're all like 3.5 hours long, and they
I know, man.
they record them at like 3 in the morning.
Oh,
What are these guys doing? Anyway, it's good.
that's
Oddly enough, the Fleo list posts were my origin point into discovering the Star Age, like Nintendo Age forums. Joe is awesome, just like you guys. Love listening to you guys nerding out on NES. Sorry, I just
Thank you, Chris.
destroyed everything. This was such a pleasant surprise tonight for Super Nintendo. Aren't there a few more unlicensed abominations like Unholy Night and Hong Kong '97?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Chris, we
Oh,
don't count Japanese games. That's all you, dude. So,
yeah.
yeah. Or I guess Hong Kong 97 isn't. That was only on disc, right? Like 3.5 inch disc,
Yeah.
and you had
Yeah. And it's
to
like
download it or something.
black and white or some. It's got a really weird, like envelopey thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Also, Narc is so great. Pairs well with early NWA and Public Enemy records for the right energy.
yep.
Narc walked so GTA could run,
You're
dude.
right.
And that game, the
Fair.
I don't know if it was medium resolution in the arcades or what, but oh my word, the graphics. I mean, it
They're
it
great.
was fantastic.
Narc
Oh, the Narc, man.
Narc's fun.
is
Yeah.
severely underrated as one of a super violent video games
Oh
from that
man.
era. It really is, man.
You're busted. Yeah, that game owns.
You're fucking shooting dogs in the goddamn game. I mean,
Oh my god. The sound effects in that game.
you're blowing people up with a rocket launcher. That game is
You come
wild, man.
flying out of the car and then you rocket launch somebody when they hit the ground. You rocket launcher a helicopter in
Their
that
body
game.
parts are flying. It's nuts,
Dude.
man.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Big is this big, nasty fucking skeleton at the end.
Oh my god, they don't make games like that
No,
anymore.
man, Narc is
Oh
trash.
god, it's so too bad.
You know, I don't do a lot of narcotics, right? And I have, but not a lot. Like that's not my shtick, right? Not my thing. I'll tell you what, though.
Moderation is key with the
No,
hard.
it's not. I'm not a drug guy. I'm just not. I never was. I was at the Portland Video Game Expo one year, and this fellow Canadian video game collector showed up there while we were setting up. I was super stressed out about my day job, coming up there from that, and I was like super like high strung, not feeling great. And he's like, try some of this edible. I'm like, oh man, oh man, I don't do this sort of thing. It's not my thing, but I'm stressed as hell. So I did. I'm like, how much do I need to take? He's like, take like a half of it. I'm like, I don't do edibles. So I took it, and I was supposed to set up at PRG that night. I didn't get anything done. And I started having this out of body experience where I would say something and not know what I said until 15 seconds later. And then I would remember what I would say. And I was talking to these people. I kept thinking, like, man, I wonder if they know how stoned I am on this right now.
I
Just
mean, Yes, they did.
And then
But it
so I
doesn't
didn't get
matter.
anything done. And I just walked away from this conversation I was having with someone. And then I went and played Narc on arcade at the Portland
There you
show
go.
for like 2 hours.
That's a fantastic way. They just let's just put you in front of the arcade machine. You'll be
Yep.
okay.
I
It's
was I was gone, man. And then I went to the hotel room across the street where I was staying. It wasn't the Hyatt, but it was the other ritzy little hotel there. And you had to have a key to like make the elevator go up and down, right? I get on the elevator
oh, that is fancy.
and I didn't know that that's what I had to do. And I thought I was stuck on the elevator and I couldn't get off.
Yeah, they had one of those. They had one of those in my last hotel in Tokyo, and I finally figured it out. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's very strange to have to
So
use your room key to use an elevator.
word to the wise, if edibles and the cannabis world, it's for some people, it's not for everyone. Not for me. So didn't really work out too well.
All
Ah,
right.
that's quick talk. All right, Nate.
Uh, Michael, our fifth biggest fan. He was first. I'm gonna give him credit. Can't believe he beat Blockbuster guy. And Josh said shit's been late lately. Been racking up those fees. And we're done. We got through two comments in one show, but now we can do wins.
Okay, so
That's amazing.
before we get into wins, though, I know that this is kind of running a little long. Chris, if somebody's starting out with Genesis collection, because we want to bring you back on for Genesis, not NES, not Master System, Genesis, not 32X, Genesis. What should people look for right out of the gate if they want to get into Genesis collecting?
Well, I think that there's a lot less variant knowledge in Genesis than there should be.
Hmm.
There are a lot more variants than you'd think. My throwaway comment, of course, is going to be go find some of the best games. Go find Genesis is really known for shooters, but obviously ninjas are also quite big. So Revenge of Shinobi.
Hmm.
Um, uh, so putting aside the shooters because almost all of them are fantastic. Uh, there's some there's some decent titles on there. I don't know if you like Michael Jackson, but Michael Jackson obviously has Moonwalker.
That was a good
Um,
game. That was a good game.
but
I
um,
think, like
Fantasy
you,
Fantasy Star is huge. A Fantasy Star 4 is probably the one that you'd want to get. But really the joy of the Genesis is there's so many titles that were good that nobody really knows about. Elisa Dragoon is an excellent title. Not that many people think about Gunstar Heroes when they talk about the biggest run in guns. Nobody really talks about Megaturk um, and once you're in the Genesis world, you're like, of course they do. Those are
yeah,
huge, right? But uh, I don't know. A lot of people don't know about a lot of the titles in the Genesis library, and there's a shocking amount of good stuff. And uh, a nice place to start too would be the sports. Madden, nobody saw anything like that until that was on the Genesis. It just owned on the Genesis. The NHL hockey series on Genesis was like second to none. They still play tournaments with NHL 94.
I'm in a Facebook group specifically dedicated to NHL 94, and there's thousands of
And
people.
Cap,
and it's
cap,
like a $20 game. Like
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's fantastic.
cap.
Yeah.
Uh I tend to like 93 because
Mhm.
but it had like a trick shot that you could do and score every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that there's a shocking amount that's really good, and a big part of why it's still good on Genesis is the Sega folks, the engineers, put together a system around their arcade hardware. Well, that arcade hardware happened to use one of the most popular CPUs of all time. There's some great programmers, and always have been, for the Motorola 68,000. It was used in a lot of systems, and because of that, people had really deep, good knowledge of that chip, and you saw really good usage of the chip. The games ran fast, they ran clean. So I don't know if it had more colors on screen at the same time. The Genesis would. I, I mean, I still play it every day, but um, yeah, I'd say if you're going to start somewhere, just pick what you want to do: shooters, sports. If you want mascot games, do that. But Genesis library is big enough where you should first thing that you should do is pick a direction, pick the type of game that you want, and
Okay.
then go after it, and then branch out into the kind of interesting stuff that's in the periphery.
Awesome. And I think the next time you come on, I'd like to really get into some deep weeds with Genesis with you. It'd be
Yeah,
really fun.
there's a lot of games in the Genesis where Boris Vallejo did the artwork, so he was a huge sci-fi Dungeons and Dragons artist. Um, there's a lot of really interesting, neat little things,
Mhm.
and I think people are still discovering variants. And there's actually not that many Genesis games graded relative to the other systems too. So they're still out there. You can still collect it pretty affordably.
Yep. I agree, man. I'm excited. It'll be fun. Fun to go down that rabbit hole. So,
All right, what do you guys
all
got
right.
for wins here?
Wins. Um, I'll be quick. Okay. I bought this off Whatnot. It's a first release of Clockwork Orange on
Wow.
VHS.
Wow.
It's really, really rare. It's really cool.
That's cool.
Hmm. Insane movie. So first print
Yeah.
of Sucker in the Warner box. Never see them. They'll come up and buy it now for 60, or they'll come up and buy it now for 200. So, you know, they rarely show up. Then I picked up this copy of Sky Skipper for the 2600 out of a Heritage Auctions. Did I show this, Matt, already?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh,
Got a rip in the plastic. It's not why I bought it. Has this really cool little Velcro sticker on the back.
Yeah.
hmm.
And I don't think there's a manual or other inserts in here. I think it's just a tray. I think this
Do you
was a
think it's like
display
a
box.
display box?
I think they used it at a CES
Yeah.
and it was in a lot. Um, I don't know the history of where Heritage had this in their stuff, but I do know they do get stuff from video game industry people from time to time. They were selling stuff from an old Konami employee. I bought some of that stuff out of lots. Um, and I don't know why this was in there or what it was really. So it's weird enough for me to buy
Yeah.
and keep.
I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And Velcro is like the sure tail sign, right? Of this was on a wall at a show
Right.
or in an office in a marketing department. So Skyskipper's a great game too, if you guys don't know about Skyskipper.
I've never even heard of it.
Okay, Nintendo made Skyskipper. It was an
Oh,
arcade game. Test launched, did was absolutely panned and did terrible. And so they converted all the machines from Skyskipper to Popeye. And
I
so
could I could probably listen to you talk about weird game shit for like a
yeah,
day straight.
so that's what
Dude,
it is,
I
right?
love that. I love
It's a
that.
Nintendo game. Parker Brothers got the rights to do a port, and along with Popeye, so you got Parker Brothers and Popeye. It's Nintendo essentially. So cool game, cool arcade game,
Wow.
That's cool.
and I think you can play it on the Virtual Console right now. If you got a Switch, you can download Sky Skipper from Nintendo and play it. Check it out. Okay, those are my finds.
That's it. I can leave you for last, Chris, if you got some cool stuff.
Sure.
Uh,
Yeah, I'll actually go get it.
I'm gonna keep this basic. I mean, I think a lot of people got it, but I did get a Switch
Oh, I got one
from
too.
myself. Yeah. Thanks to
Oh, I should have, and I didn't.
thanks for Eric texting literally every day, 3, 4 times a day, constantly. Oh, the Switch is going. Oh, the Switch is going. Oh, the Switch. Anyway, got one. My local Freddy's had them. Luckily, I got off work a little early, and then they sold out later. I love getting variants. I'm not all about sealed all the time. I did get an NFR employee store copy. It is, CIB.
Nice.
Oh, Project Gotham.
And I
Yeah.
like the,
I used to remove those stickers.
yeah, no, I like that they're not. And then I got the one variant of Halo that I didn't have with the employee. Obviously, it's not sealed, but I'd been waiting actually for this one for a while. In a
I have so many of these, Matt, and they're
Yeah,
all sealed. Like,
in the NFR.
no, but just like, I don't know. I buy them all the time.
Yeah, they're cool.
Look at these. These are
Yeah,
awesome. I
yeah.
like all sealed.
Those are still sealed. Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah.
always see them open, but they have the
Actually, a
sticker
lot of
on them open. So
these were
is the
from the
sticker under the seal?
no, there's no
No,
wrap on it. They just left
There's
the
no
small.
wrap on it. Oh, that's
Yeah.
why I see the
because they
Uh,
CID.
they pulled a wrap off. They slapped the sticker on there.
Matt, these really belong to you because they're from the guy where you got your console from. So,
Oh no, I'm not worried about that.
no, you should keep all that stuff together because it was an ex Microsoft employee. I think it's a neat lineage of stuff. I have all of his games that you
Nah,
can buy.
you keep them.
Anyway,
I
yeah.
just like those launch titles. Those six, arguably seven launch titles. All right, that's
Yeah.
it. Mine
Project Gotham is cool.
short and sweet.
All right, so my auction win was, and so as soon as I said, I got the highest graded Thunder Force 2, Dan was like, no, I've got a 90 VGA and I looked and there's even a 95 VGA. So basically I got straight street trash,
No,
complete garbage, horrible. I'm ashamed.
not even.
But at least the side isn't faded. It's a very, very nice copy, and
I
happy to upgrade it.
I've crossed 90s and even 90 pluses at 9.6s, and I'm not kidding. So
Yeah, Dan.
so
Yeah, you
I'm
hear
gonna
that?
I'm gonna throw that out there multiple times. 95s, however, that you're darn near guaranteed a 988 plus plus on
I
those.
crossed a fucking pardon my language. Ghoul School Super Nintendo is a VGA 90 and came back a 948 plus plus. I
Yeah,
was
Oh
nine.
my God.
that was a bad cross.
The
Oh my
only
God.
the only almost guarantee I've ever seen and crossed personally, and this is just my personal experience, is a 95. You're pretty much darn near a lock on a 988 plus
Yeah.
plus.
Well, this is a horrible, it's an A plus.
Oof. No, that's fantastic.
What
That's
are you doing
insane.
with
I
that
know.
garbage, Chris?
I know, right? What am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
This is a question I ask myself a lot. All right, so I went to Japan, so I'm gonna go roll through this. So these are exclusive to the Nintendo store. I have an absolute ton of them because I kept doing it. It was like 500 or 600 yen, but they're keychain controllers. So I've got a Nintendo thing that nobody else has. You can probably get them on eBay for $5. I don't know. Um, I had to pick up another Thunder Force game, so that's cool.
Is that five? Thunder Force 5?
Uh, that one is Thunder Force Gold Pack 1.
Okay.
And then I had to pick up another Thunder Force game. So that's the Mega Drive version of Thunder Force 3. It's not all Thunder Force, but I picked up Alien Soldier. I picked up Zero Wing. All your base are belong to us.
I think
That's
Hewitt
cool.
has a graded copy of that, doesn't he? The European release of that.
Who does?
Eric
Eric Hewitt.
Hewitt. He's got a
Man,
he's got a sticker seal like the Mega Drive European Mega Drive version of it.
man, that's
Pretty dope.
rad.
That is cool.
But all the European stuff is 50 hertz, so slower. I can't remember the title of this one. Yeah, I know. I have to just throw some shade like randomly.
I need to cut
Bullshit,
that clip and
pal.
send it
What
to
are we
him.
doing? But what's the game there? Like
This is another shooter. And
that's the title. It's
it's
Fire
like
Shark.
yeah, it's like tight. It's did not come out in the States, but
Okay.
it's decent. But that one's cool. Uh, Panorama Cotton.
Mm-hmm.
That one's nice. Dracula X. Rondo. Um,
The Version
Final
Rondo.
random Final Fantasy. Um, Random Tetris.
That's cool.
I had to pick up a PC Engine title. Twinbee.
Nice.
I was looking for, I was looking for Konami titles. Some of the shooters and stuff are pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Proteus
Mm-hmm.
on Super Famicom, layer section on the Saturn, Puyo Puyo. And I did not get this in Japan, but when I finally found it, I had to get it.
Super
So
Game
the
Boy.
Super Game Boy 2 actually runs at the proper, I don't know, megahertz, if you will.
Huh.
It's like the Super Game Boy
Yeah.
is technically a little too fast.
It's too
Oh.
quick.
So yeah, there's that, and then a lot of gashapon toys. There you go.
Love it. Sweet.
Nice stuff, man.
Yep. You might see me in some Nintendo gear later. That'll be good. Once again, it's factory sealed. I can't
Don't
open it.
Can't open it. Can't use it.
No, not meant to be played.
That's right.
All right.
We really appreciate you coming on, man. Thank you.
It's good hanging out.
Yeah,
It's good
I
hanging
enjoyed
out.
this one, man.
Yep.
Yeah,
talking.
thanks for less than 24-hour notice and coming on. It's awesome.
Good time. Like it's love the show, and being a part of it here and there is awesome. Super fun. Thanks.
Well, we love and appreciate your knowledge, and it like we always say, it's great to have that out there for people, whether this is showing 100 years from now, that knowledge just doesn't go off into Neverworld and to nothing. So
Mhm.
we appreciate you sharing that. Uh, Thoughts, comments below. We'd love and appreciate your thoughts, comments. Sorry, Joe, for missing your comments, but we got them here. Maybe it was even better that we had Chris on here to help read those. It was a lot of fun. Always look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. Who else you want to see on the show? I think we're up to like a lot of votes for Eric to come on the show, Braveheart. So no pressure, but it's your turn. Um, that's it.
Yeah, we got some fun
All
ones
right.
lined up for the summer, Matt.
Yeah, we got some cool guests coming on, and it's not just me continually just saying that. They're actually coming on now. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna be a fun ride.
All right.
That's it. I'm just gonna
Thanks.
stay silent for a while and see what happens.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. All right. We love y'all. Take care. See you again next time.
See ya.